Hello, Andy.
So, all of you able to understand this one? Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions, but I can wait until if somebody else has some other questions, I can wait.
Leader is always leader, follower is always follower. You want to act as a leader or follower?
At this point, I'm a student, so.
Every
Okay.
leader is also a student once upon a time. Yeah, ask
Okay.
me.
Yeah, let's go. So, first thing is, what is the difference between a library and your regular folder? So you are saying create your own library, then you are calling that library.
One after another. I am not that much smart like you. So one after another. You are asking a simple question. What is the library? Suppose.
No, what is the difference?
Yeah, difference. Okay. Suppose, for example, your daughter's name is Gayatri and you call it as Ammu or something like. What is the difference between these two? Same thing, like just like as Gayatri is a physical name and you are using alias, SAS work is real and your alias with some Venkat. That's only the difference, because you are pointing this alias name to the physical location. That is the difference. That is the reason SAS is accepting the library names. That means a small name. So tomorrow when you are going to the work, you have library like user, bin, project, protocol, etc., etc. Is a very big name is there. I don't want to use the very big name here. That is the reason I can make some small name like anti-AV201, antiviral 201 is the library name. Using with lib name, I'm going to make that in say alias a small name. That is only the reason. It's clear? Next.
And like, see, the purpose of any names is to create an ease for the programmer or the end user, right?
That's correct.
So basically library is, so folder is an alias name for a library, but whatever the programs you do, they go to alias, they don't go to library.
They are going to alias, but when you see your library, suppose for example it goes to Venkat. Where is this Venkat? Physically there is no Venkat. The Venkat is nothing but this is the location SAS work. Whatever the data sets Venkat.wait club, it is going to created in a Venkat library here, but those things should store in your C drive with SAS work permanently.
So basically parent folder is SAS work.
Yes, that's correct. Okay. Yep. I don't want to say parent and child relationship, but for your understanding, this is only the second day, but I can, okay, I'm going to, for yes, definitely you can understand like this.
Okay. And then, the /* comment is basically telling the user or a programmer what type of data types you can use. So in that you have only character and numeric. Character again has character and alphanumeric. So when you are doing the table for the weights, we have another column called pounds. What are these numbers in every part of the continent? It changes. So don't we want a column with pounds there or kgs?
Where is pound?
Yeah, there is no pounds. I mean, units for the weight.
That
so here you.
Okay, yeah, I understand your concept. So this is only second class, Ashwini. Just we want to go to the next level. Yes, we are going to add units also. You need to add conversions also. All these things we have it. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So the other question is at the input level. So input level, basically the ID number, name, team, these are all the column names where you are specifying the space for each column. So ID number, it will have only 1 to 4. That means it fills in the 4 spaces, right?
Yes.
What happens if we forget to, because we want to be looking at the data and then designing the program, right? So what happens when we overrun? Does it show at the time of execution, or when does it say that it is not working or the program is incorrect?
Yeah, you need to wait for next week, because that's my
Okay, good,
I'm
good.
going
Yeah,
to
yeah,
explain
yeah.
those.
Okay.
Because why I explained this program is very simple. This is easy, simple English.
Okay.
One
Okay.
thing.
Yeah. I understand. Thank you then.
Any other questions?
Yeah. I created the SAS work in C Windows, but do I need to specify alias name also there, or because if somebody's computer is that, so how do you create?
Okay, Srivani, I'm going to share your. I'm going to put as a co-host. Can you please share your computer screen?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, now you are the presenter and you can share your computer screen. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. Yes,
Okay.
please share your computer screen.
Okay, so because I have Zoom on my phone and this is computer is separately there, so how can I do that, sir?
No, you can join with your Zoom meeting with your computer also. Yes.
Okay, I did not do it now, but can I take a screenshot and then do that?
Okay. Yeah, that's like, because everybody have the same type of questions, same type of issues. Suppose if I explain in a right way, everybody can be in a good
I
shape.
know, yeah. So I forgot because I thought this should be easy for me. So
Okay.
yeah, Miru, because I just created the folder in C.
Okay.
It's not executing. It says that statement is not valid or it is used out of proper order.
Okay. First of all, okay. Okay. Just I go to your C drive. What is your library name, folder name you created? What is the name? SAS work?
Yeah.
Okay. SAS work. Close that window. Then open your SAS. Open.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
SAS and type here LIBNAME.
Yeah, I did that.
LIBNAME. Your name, like Srivani, SREEVA, like Srivani, space.
Yeah, does it matter the owner of the computer is different, or is it? That's what my question is.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about
okay.
it. No
Okay.
Colon slash SAS work, quotations close, quotation close, and semicolon.
Yeah, I did that.
And highlight like this, and submit button.
Okay.
Submit.
Oh, I got it. Okay, I got it. Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
same way all of you must do this. Any questions?
No, it's good. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so going back. So now we are here, proc print data, Venkat.wait club here. Once we run these 2 lines of the program, you will get all these things. Hey, why I got this? My data set contains only ID number, name, team, start weight, end weight, and loss. This part, we are calculating the loss. Why I got this OBS? So by default, SAS is going to provide you OBS column. By default, SAS is going to provide you OBS. So I don't want to see OBS. What I need to do? Just Control C. Then you can put it paste here. Here you need to apply NOOBS. When you specified this, run it, you will see this OBS is gone. OBS is gone. Now you can see here is the page number 3. This is the date and time. This is some title. I don't want to see page number. I don't want to see date and time. What I need to do? For that case, I am going to apply options. Options, 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 no number, no NUMBER, no number, and semicolon. Then you can type this one, just controls. See, so no number, previously you have number, like this. Now when you click this one, the number is gone here itself. I don't want to see this date and time also. I don't want to see this date and time also. For that case, simply I'm going to apply options, no date, options, no date. like this. When you click this one, now date is also gone. See, date is also gone. I don't want to see the SAS system. I want to see my own title. My own title means simply I can go with like this and proc print here. And here I am going to add title. Title in quotations begin. Whatever you can do this, you can hear. Title 2. See, I'm going to run this code. I know errors because previously I want to clear everything because there is no errors here. See, everything is in blue color. So no errors. I want to clear this part. Then I want to see this one. I want to go back here. Just to simply so this one I want to run this one. Only this part. What I need to do, just run it. Proc print is running. Then you go back to your program. Still it is running because nothing is happened. Because I know the problem is still it is in a loop sometimes. So that means the title, this one, and title 2. Here you need to specify a semicolon here. And title 2 also, you are opening your quotations here. You need to close this quotation also and the semicolon here and run. When you are going to run this code, sometimes it will be in hang up mode. You know what happened? Just you can click here, cancel submitted statements. You can click this much, then you can okay, then it is going to submit like this. Now when I'm going to run this code from here to here, just run it. Proc print data Venkat.wait club title so and so, title 2 this much. See, here you will find some red errors. This is because what happened, the meaning of this identifier after requested code, etc. everything, these are all, say, warning, the title statement, so and so, warnings are in green color. So you got all that information because it is going to provide you, but only one thing is you need to read the log window all the time. Then you can go back here itself. Okay, now so this is the way you need to write your programs. First one is data step. Every SAS program contains 2 steps. One is with your data step, other one is with the proc step. Data step, proc step, data step, proc step. Depending upon the complexity, you are going to do this. Now, suppose for example, here my data has, I know, just now I created my data set. My data set contains ID number, name, team, start weight, end weight. These are all only 5 variables. Tomorrow, when you are going to the work, you have a lot of these things. For example, just now Ashwini mentioned about the height. We should go with like units. It may be inches or it may be centimeters. So weight means it may be kilograms or it may be pounds. Something we need to add all those things. So in your simple data set, you have so many variables. How we need to identify it? How you are going to identify it? For that case, just I'm going to use with a procedure. That procedure is PROC, proc, CONTENTS, proc contents data is equal to proc contents data is equal to you need to specify Venkat dot weight club, Venkat.wait club. Then I want to run this one. Just proc contents data is equal to Venkat.wait club and run. When I am going to run this code, proc contents is running. See, proc contents is running. See, you got your contents, my weight club, that is a number, numeric, length is equal to this, ID number, loss, name, start weight, and team. See, what is this? Hey, my data set contains, my first variable is ID number, second one is name, third one is team, then after that start weight, after that end weight, and then loss. That's the order I have it. I created a table in that order only. Why I got it? Why I got like this? By default, SAS is going to provide you your variables in a alphabetic order, E, etc., everything in this alphabetic order. I don't want to see alphabetic order. I want to see my data set, how my data set is created, I want to see the same order. For that case, what I need to do is I am going to use a simple option. That option is here is VARNUM, VARNUM. VARNUM is the option. If I am going to use VARNUM is the option, I am going to my data set is how data set is created, like your ID number, name, team, start weight, end weight, loss. See, ID number, name, team, start weight, end weight, loss. This is the way, this is the order I have it. This is the order my data set contains. So I got it. So what is the difference when you open your program? What is the difference between these two? You are using a simple VARNUM option. Simply you are using VARNUM option. That's enough. So you please write a notes for all these things. It's really tough to remember everything because some people have kids and some people have learning curve is almost a little bit less compared to youngsters like students. For that case, you need to write it down. What exactly data statement is going to do, what input statement is going to do, what data lines, and this print. If you are using with the NOOBS, what is the purpose of NOOBS? It is suppresses the OBS column, observation column, and no number, it is suppresses the page number. No date, it is suppresses the date and time. If I want to add the titles, title 2, etc., maximum we can give 12 titles. And 12 footnotes also. Proc contents, it is going to provide. If I want to buy a book, what I need to do? I am going to check with the contents. Same thing like this. Proc contents, it is going to provide you the data set description. Proc contents, it is going to provide you the data set description. So proc contents this much. What is the purpose of VARNUM? VARNUM is whatever the data set it is going to be created, I want to see the variables in the same order. Suppose if you are not using the VARNUM statement, VARNUM option, not statement, option, it is going to provide you the variables in a alphabetic order. So that is this much. And also when you see this proc print, for example here, when you run it, you will see this is the title 1, this is the title 2, ID number, name, teams, etc., everything. But you know that, like, oh, my data set contains ID number, name, team, start weight, end weight, loss. But I don't want to see all the variables. Just simply, you are, suppose you are working with lab data, you want to see the date and suppose name. Then after that, after giving the treatments, the loss or gain, you want only those things. On that time, whatever the variables you are interested to print, then on that time, I'm going to take this one, Control C and Control V here. Generally, I prefer to write a program like this. Because this is the step boundary. And I'm going to apply var statement here. VAR, var statement. In this var statement, what are the variables I am interested to print? So what are the variables? I mean, I want ID number, ID, NUMBER, ID number. I don't need a name. Just I want to team. I want to see the team, TEAM, team. Then I want to see loss, LOSS. I don't want to start weight and end weight, etc. Just I want to see ID number belongs to which team. Then I want to see loss or gain. Then I want to run this program and run it. You will see ID number, team, and loss. So whatever the variables you are specified in your where statement, it is going to print. Because in our curriculum, I am going to provide you a project. That project contains 44 variables. 44 variables and 7,800 records. It's a big Excel file I am going to provide to all of you. Then I am giving a separate requirement, not individual same requirement. I am giving, oh, Alekia, do this using with data. Junni, do this. Pawan, do this. I'm giving a different requirements to different people, but same data. So I'm going to give it. So for that case, you need to identify what are the variables is required, to perform your task. First of all, for that case, you need to keep only those particular variables only. Say again, I'm telling you, first day, in second day, I am throwing too much of information. You probably may think about it. Our approach is like a Chanakya's approach. Chanakya's approach is, if you want to learn swimming, jump into the river. Within 2 hours, you will get swimming. Otherwise, just to take a piece of book and how to swim, read all these things, nothing will happen. So that's the reason yesterday only I'm giving the introduction, hey, how to write programs, what are the rules, etc., everything. Today I'm writing a program and I'm going to explain how you are going to write a program. It's really tough. Only very few people have SAS software in your computer and documentation is there. That is the reason this whole 1 week, I want to finish the remaining things. Then I want to see next week, every person has a SAS software. And most of the times, please join with your computer. That's where you can share your computer screen. That's easy for me, easy for other people also. And the second one is, I'm requesting all of you, no regional language. No good morning, no good afternoons. No, just simply only in English. Only English next week onwards. No Telugu business. Okay, last one. And this is the way. These are the variables I'm interested. Now we are going back to here. I don't want this one. I want to add my name also. For example, what I need to do? Just simply I want to copy Control C and this much Control V. Then here ID number. I want to see even name also. Just name. Then you can run it. That's where you are able to understand. Oh, previously I don't have name. Now I have the name also. That means whatever the variables we are specified in our where statement, it is going to print like this. Whatever the variables we are specified in our where statement. That's one thing is NOOBS is suppressing the OBS column. And generally what happened, for example, this options statement. Generally, here I am going to write it down. Options, no date, no number, and a semicolon. Generally, option statement, when you are going to the work, option statement is first line. Generally, first line of your program. First line. But in training purposes, yes, I'm going to explain each and every line. That's the reason I'm writing here itself. But tomorrow, when you are going to the work, yes, you will see option statement generally first line of your program. Then after that, libname statement. Then because getting the data using with libname statement. Then after that, before that, there is a comments. Everything is there. Then you are writing your program. This is the way you are able to write your programs. Any questions? Hello.
Yeah, one question. So proc print is only for the selective printing of what you want to see at that particular time upon a complete successful execution of the program. If the program has errors and we overlook it, even though we do this proc print command, it will not print, I believe, right?
Proc print is a procedure, not a command, first of all, because you should know the terminology. That's proc print. Okay. Like this one thing. And sometimes, proc print has a lot of functionality. In this lot of functionality, I'm going to check with my data is correctly or not. Why? Suppose, for example, when I take this one, for example, here, I'm calculating certain values. Loss is equal to start weight minus end weight. I want to check these things. Oh, my data is coming correctly or not. For that case, also I am going to check with, but for that case, I'm going to use proc print also. That's one thing. But if you find any errors or something, for that case, we are going to check those things also. So what is exactly your question?
My question is, proc print is a very selective procedure to see few lines if your program is working or not. Otherwise, we have to
program is not working or not. Program is generating correct results or not.
Okay.
Suppose once your data set is created, then you want to see the data. For that case, proc print we are going to use. Proc print has lot of functionality. This is, I am giving this functionality only 1%. We have so much of functionality for proc print. Each procedure has, you won't believe it, 300 to 400 pages of documentation. But we are not going to use that much of functionality. Well, probably after 3 weeks, I think, my schedule, I am going to teach proc report. Proc report has bread and butter of SAS programmers. So that program is 1800 lines, 1837 lines, only one program. Only one program. I am taking some data and I'm going to play with that program. So once that level passes, then you are able to understand the power of SAS. This is just like us, because a lot of people with non-computers background. I know Srivan is a veterinary doctor, and Shravan is a pharmacist student, and like a lot of people. Vinay is from Canada. He is also a pharmacy graduate. Like, you know, a lot of people with, like, very few people with the computers back. Alekia is also pharmacy background. So a lot of people not with. That's the reason I want to tell them, hey, this is not a rocket science. This is very easiest software. Start with something simple. Suppose if you have a problem, suppose proc print is the procedure for printing the output in this point of time. And next step is proc print is the procedure. It is useful to print a selective variables also. For that case, I am going to use where statement. What are the variables I am interested? Oh, I am going to use that much. Next one. Then if I want to see my data set, what are the variables in my data set? What are the variable types in my data set? For that case, I am going to use a procedure. That procedure is called as proc contents. Proc contents is the procedure. It is going to provide you the data set description. Then I'm going to use var_num option. What by default proc contents is going to provide you the variables in a alphabetic order. If I want to see how my data set is created, then I want to use a option var_num. The reason why I explained all these things is interview. People are asking, hey, can you please tell me how I want to check my data, how I want to check the variable names. Then you need to say like, oh yeah, we can use with proc contents. Don't stop. If you are using with proc contents, by directly it is going to provide you all the variable names in alphabetic order. If I want to see how my data set exactly contains, then I am going to use the var_num option. See, that's why you need to sell yourself in a market. You sell yourself in a market, you know, lot of information. That's the one thing. That is only the reason I'm explaining all the things. And all of you write it down notes. Now, all of them write it down notes. Then only it's easy for you to understand. Okay, going back. Clear, Ashwani?
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, seems to be no. Good. Now, proc print, this is the another procedure. Now I'm going to go with like another procedure, tabulate. For example, here I have a small program here. Proc tabulate. Data Venkat.WaitClip, class team. I am interested in the variables, start weight, end weight, and loss. Table. I want to see team like this, red team and yellow team, or sex, male and female. Mean of start weight, end weight, loss. Don't worry about title 1, title 2, title 3, etc. and run statement. When I am going to run this code, when I'm going to come back and I'm going to explain it. I'm going to run this code. Proc tablet is running. Proc tablet is running still. You got the values like this. See, title 1, title 2, title 3. So fine. Team, red and yellow, because I have only 2 teams, red and yellow team. All the red. Mean starting weight is this. Mean end weight is this. Mean loss is equal to this. Suppose if you want to write this type of output, any programming language, whether it may be C or C++, Java, any programming language, at least you need to write minimum of 100 lines of the program. Minimum of 100 lines of the program. But here I wrote it only just proc tablet, data is equal to this. Class team. Suppose tomorrow if you want to analyze the report by sex, class sex. So you will get males all one group and females is one group. Suppose you want to make class by age group, depending upon 0 to 10 and 10 to 20, 20 to 30, you will get all those things. Here I have a team contains red and yellow. So that means class team. And what are the variables I'm interested? I'm interested in start weight, end weight, loss. Only 3. Here, proc print, where statement? What are the variables I'm interested to print? ID number, name, team, and loss. See, definition of where is same. What are the variables we are interested to print? What are the variables we are interested to tabulate? That's the where statement. Table. How is my table? It looks like. So this type is team, comma. See, mean of star bracket begin this much. And sometimes after some time your boss, I don't need mean. I want a minimum, for example. What you are going to do in this program? min, min. See, just min. You got the values 127. Previously you have 175. Nowadays minimum is 127. Now suppose your boss wants, I don't want even minimum also, I want maximum value. What you are going to do? You need to change this value with max, maximum value. So you got the values like this. So because if I know, that's the reason I'm using a lot of things. For example, so otherwise, you need to open the documentation. And you need to use whatever is required for your statistician, then you need to get it. So this one, so proc tablet, data is equal to this much, class team, variable so and so, table, etc. Everything here itself. Don't worry about it. Suppose if you want to calculate a standard deviation, for example, what exactly you want to do? Standard deviation. For that case, you should know about SD, standard deviation, SD. Then what happened? I'm going to run this code. You will see, suppose nothing is coming up. So that means probably you got errors. See, the type of name SD is unknown. See, that's the reason error. Errors are in red color. Warnings are in green color. Notes are in this much. So, okay, probably I made a mistake. Oh, SD is not there. Then probably it is STD, standard deviation. Yes, now I'm going to run this one. See, I got standard deviation is here itself. So it is going to provide you all the information, all the resources you are going to provide it. But only one thing is you need to read. You need to read this data. That's the most important is. So you need to understand the error. See, immediately I'm not in a panic. Oh, what happened? Oh, SD is unknown. Oh, yeah, I made a mistake. STD is standard deviation. And similarly, you need to go with like other statistics like CSS. Probably you don't know what exactly are not necessary. As a statistician wants corrected sum of squares. So this is the value here itself. Uncorrected sum of squares. Uncorrected sum of squares means probably I know what is corrected and uncorrected. For you, not necessary. USS, uncorrected sum of squares. So that one. For that case, all these things is going to be available in your documentation. I told you like even SAS has 5 million pages of documentation. It's impossible to read everything, first of all. But only one thing is where you need it, then you need to open the documentation. Yes, this is the documentation window. In this documentation window, you need to figure it out. Like suppose, for example, SAS products. In this SAS products, for example, Base SAS, the SAS procedures guide. In this procedures guide, we're talking about to tabulate. Here is the tabulate procedure. Okay. In this tablet procedure, you need to figure it out. Like, where is this one? So you can open the documentation and you will see all the information you are able to get it. So that is the way you need to learn the subject. So what I'm going to provide you is next couple of days, I'm going to send an email with all the information. Information means Little SAS book, Pharma Industry in SAS Programming, that is the book, and the SAS Tutor. And like I told you, like the data, one text file contains all the data, all the data. Then you need to start with these programs, and Swapna will send an email with this program. Then you need to start it. You need to, because if I'm going with too much of stuff, probably you may be upset because simply you're learning things, not exactly because just listening, but you need to practice. So next Saturday, all of you must have SAS software in your computer. Those who are interested to continue in this class, SAS software in your computer, and the material, I need to send it by post, a material, and these books, the most important. And then these classes are much more productive classes. Okay, that's why I want to do this. Okay, any questions? Hello?